What a roller coaster this entire set has been. This has been the most thematically integrated gameplay I have seen so far in TFT. And the question I asked myself at the end of all of this, am I sick of dragons? Kinda.
I'm just sick of dragons, man. I'm ready to move on from dragons.
However, was this the best iteration of it in comparison to the last half, Dragonlands? For sure. Uncharted Realms had a lot of issues to fix, and I was skeptical that Riot would be able to do so. However, I have to say I am impressed for how much was enhanced. Though that's not to say it was perfect, Uncharted Realms faced the same difficulty the most mid-set swaps face, and that is fixing some classes and traits with new champs and ruining others. But before we talk about that, let's talk about dragons, the focal point of everything. I've got to hand it to Riot and the TFT team. They really found the mark in this mid-set with the dragons. Namzi being a standalone, stepping away from his previous synergy summon. Straros repurposed as Zippy was great. They essentially did exactly what I wanted to see and used the existing assets they have in imaginative ways rather than reskins of the same champs. This goes the same for Namzi being a reskin of Gromp, but in a dragony light. Not to mention Tyrant Swain being an amazing revamp of his previous incarnation both in gameplay and balance. Balance-wise, Namzi was a perfect amount of RNG, seen as though he could change classes from game to game, but man, by the end of this set, I was sick and tired of seeing Zippy. This roly-poly-oly was in what felt like every single game and was actually just unkillable. He quickly turned into one of those spam units after people realized that putting one item and 2-starring him, he would be the best backline killing tank in the game. Som is a completely original dragon as far as I've seen from Riot. They look and play the part amazingly. Even though it was just one created for the set, I'm happy about the one that we got. Now, thematically, I think they nailed it. However, there are too many damn dragons. 12 of the 62 units this set are dragons. At the mid-set, at least 3 or 4 of them should have been taken out. I know with the increased amount of dragons, the trait was adjusted to complement using multiple on a team, so now you can at least mix and match teams more without the annoying limitations of 1 per team. Plus, the comp is borderline broken. In fairness, it is a high-risk, high-reward pivot team, so it being a little too strong is understandable. Still, too many dragons. On their respective sides, I have put each class/origin that I feel like has thrived or suffered from the mid-set. Let's start with Astral. They lost their entire identity when Riot changed it from every 5th reroll gets an enhanced shop to gaining an orb every round. That could be money or units, just like 3 other synergies that did the same exact, if not extremely similar thing. Jade grew majorly in strength after the unit draft it got. The carry ability was far more viable for Karma, seen as though the front line was much more durable. Though I do miss Nico. Speaking of Nico, Shapeshifters really got hit hard with losing herself, Swain, Elise, all the while really getting nothing in return in regards of units or power. It was a shame too, because they weren't at all a complex synergy, but they were a fun little side team to run. I could go down the list of each team that got it good or got it bad, but the 2 that I ragged on the most last video definitely deserve a recap. Both of these teams, Shimmerscale and Dragonmancer, I've played quite a bit of, which is a stark contrast before mid-set. Shimmerscale had no frontline really besides the dragon in Dragonlands, and with the inclusion of Jax and Nasus in Uncharted Realms, they got the durability they needed desperately. Especially since one of the main damage healers was Zoe and her mana cost was wacko high. The items didn't seem to change too drastically, but after some more time using them, I still think they're a little awkward, especially if you're new to the game. Dragonmancer definitely benefited from dropping Swain and Ash in return for Kai'Sa and dedicated Volibear, as they both have incredible carry potential. On the scale of benefiting/losing power on unit swaps, these teams definitely gained a lot from it. Lagoon and Darkflight were the new comps this patch, and Lagoon was great, but Darkflight was a little meh. Darkflight's share item gimmick was interesting. I like how they adjusted this idea from the set 5 abomination idea, but instead now the whole team gets the items as long as the slot is available. But the unit themselves were kinda lackluster. Rengar, Aphelios, and Rel, they just all felt okay. Tyrant Swain was probably the best part of that entire team. Lagoon, on the other hand, felt really nice to play. The gain money or an item from casting abilities was a really cool way to reuse the loot mechanic and manipulate what items the player used in order to gain more orbs, such as using a Spear of Sojin or blue buff on a low mana cost unit to cast more often. Allowing the player the option to get more orbs based on how they use their items is very cool in my eyes. On a balancing scale, I noticed one major flaw with this set that was non-existent in all the other sets. All the non-dragon teams really fell flat. Sure, there are your occasional games where you'd see a swift shot pop off or an assassin be strong, but it was so few and far between, which to me is a problem. Before, it didn't matter if you were playing a big synergy, a small synergy, you could always finagle it to be powerful. But with dragons, it felt like there's a chokehold on your options. This is a big factor as to why I'm particularly excited about the next set and their lack of 2 unit slot using units.
There won't be any units that take up 2 slots in your army. Our next set is about building your team of heroes, and last I checked, you can spell team without Dragon or Colossus.
But we'll talk more about next set in a bit. When I said I would like to see more chibi legends like this, I didn't mean right now, Jesus man. This mid-set, Riot really cashed in on the high rarity chibis, pumping out 3 back-to-back, those being Lee Sin, Kai'Sa, and most recently Ashe. They did do what I wanted to see happen, and that was give the following rare chibis the same love Dragonmancer Yasuo got and receive special kill animations. Now all there is to do, Riot, is to go back and give everyone that got Firecracker Jinx a special kill animation, and all is kosher. As for the actual little legends of this mid-set, in comparison to last half, major improvements. Long Boy is majestic and beautiful, Short Boy is a cute little puppy, and Pog Koi, well, it's Pog Koi. And Pengu in a onesie with a little baby dragon, adorable. Major redemption in that department as well. It really seems it took a while, but thematically, Riot finally found where they wanted this set to be. It feels 100% more dragony and plays more dragony than it did in the last half. A lot of the changes to synergies and units I enjoyed, with the exception of a few unfortunate downfalls. I would have liked to see more unique dragons or even using the ones in the game a bit more, but otherwise the new additions were fantastic. Set 7.5 Uncharted Realms is B tier for me. Now if this next set is as fun as it looks like it's going to be, then I think we're in for a good time. Disclaimer, breaking the fourth wall here, I did for the first time play the new set on PvE before public release, and all of it is so much fun. I'm going to keep my script as is because I wrote it the day after they made the official announcement of set 8. So to maintain that excitement and mystery, let's keep going. Man, I am big excited for set 8. It already looks so cool. This theme of superheroes looks amazing. Augments are a standard mechanic from here out, but most importantly, it was almost comical for how much Rammus was getting benched in TFT, for seemingly no reason other than they kept forgetting him, though their acknowledgement of it was amazing from our one and only Mortdog.
Second, Rammus will, of course, continue to be excluded from TFT.
Hey, Mort.
TFT is simply a better game without a spiky armadillo.
Mort,
What? What, was that the wrong line?
Mort, Rammus is in this set.
Who allowed? I never said Rammus could be in freaking...
That's not even mentioning these boss units, or as they are called, threats, that have no trait. This is super interesting and a great example of how the TFT team keeps making these new and unique thematics. I am a little curious to see how the hero augments work in the game, but I don't really have an opinion on those quite yet, but they seem like they could be a lot of fun to mess around with. I am excited to see what the likes of Sean TFT and Luminaire TFT makes with all of this. The little legends to come had my heart instantly, especially Tiny Little Baron. Oh my God, just look at this little guy. Big Fat Koala Boy and Gigantamax Meowth are great as well, alongside the flagship moneymakers Ari and Lux getting their chibi legends with Star Guardian rare variants. You guys better update Jinx, I swear to God. On top of all of that, they gave us even more roadmap info regarding what the mid-set is going to look like, and even set 9 and 10. I am so happy to see TFT get this awesome little community in which we can all be excited for stuff to come out years from now. This is my 4th installment in this TFT tier list series, with many more to come. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out my previous videos where I cover everything from Set 1 beta to now. Thanks as always for being here. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I plan on uploading more TFT content outside of these tier list videos very soon, alongside streaming the next set ASAP. Let me know what you think of this video or Uncharted Realms. I would love to keep the discussion going in the comments. Take care.